Hi, this is Lisa Vogt, and thanks for joining me for the Founders and Startups podcast. I'm super excited about this podcast today because this is actually my first interview for the Founders and Startups podcast. And I'm here with Beth Bewley, who is co-founder and CEO at Eufora. And I have created 90 episodes of the Ever Better podcast that you can still find on Apple Podcasts, but this is the first interview that I'm doing for Founders and Startups. And Beth is a very special guest that I've been hearing about for years. So I'm super excited that she's joining me today. So, hey there, Beth. How are you?
Well, Hi, thank you for having me. I'm privileged to be your first one.
Well, thanks. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. So I said I've been hearing about you for years, and that's because my stylist, Peter Brocht, is one of the people who works closely with you. Let's see, he is, if I can get this right, he's an advanced academy instructor. Does that sound right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Advanced
He's a
academy.
color guru.
Yeah, and he does amazing things with my hair. And he's at Kindle and Boom salons in Rockville, Maryland, where I can frequently be found with a head full of foil. So he's been working closely with you for years.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Hey, Beth, before we start, I just wanted to read something that you recently published on LinkedIn, which I found really inspiring. And I guess I'll back up and say, I'm creating the Founders and Startups podcast, but I'm also an executive and leadership coach, and my business is called Ever Better Coaching and Consulting. Yeah. You can find more about that at everbetteryou.com. And you published something on LinkedIn that I thought was so appropriate for what I'm doing, and obviously so appropriate for you, because you were the one that wrote it and published it. Do you mind if I read a section of that before we get started?
I'd be privileged. Yeah.
Okay, great. There are no back seats, no what ifs, and no autopilot. It's time to stand up and move forward, to be fully engaged in the world that surrounds us, to say yes to more and no to whatever is holding you back. Why? Because you don't want to just say you were here. You want to say you showed up in every moment. So, what are you waiting for?
Oh, goodness. What am I waiting for? Gosh, I'm not really waiting for anything. I think that, with this company and with this mission and this vision that we have, it's not about waiting. It's about engaging, and it's about constantly looking for innovative ways to move yourself forward, to move your company forward, to move your people forward. So I am kind of not that person that sits around and waits for something to happen. I think as business owners and leaders, you have to get out there and make it happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, and you ended this statement with that question. So what are you waiting for? So every person that reads this is going to ask themselves, wait, what am I waiting for? And, even though I'm a big action taker myself too, but there are some times when I'm like, do I need permission? Who do I need permission from? Oh, myself. Yeah.
Nobody. Right. Exactly.
Let's go do this.
Yeah.
So Beth, to give people some more background, can you share your journey about, why did you start Eufora? How did you start Eufora?
Sure. Boy, this goes back a ways.
Yeah.
So my husband and I actually was in a different industry. I had gone to Kent State University in Ohio, and I was in broadcast communication. So worked in television for a little while, and I met this amazing man, and he was a hairdresser and a salon owner and a platform artist. And I not only fell in love with him, but I fell in love with the industry. And so I made a shift over to the salon professional industry from my chosen career. So, I guess it was about 26 years ago now that we moved out to California, and my husband had a job offer. And we were here, we took our babies, got our babies together and moved out to California. And within a short time, the company that he worked for had shut down. So we decided that, what the heck, we're going to start our own company and do something that we're passionate about and something that we believe in. And I always like to tell people that, naivete sometimes is a good thing. Because,
right.
Right? Because if you knew what you were getting yourself into, you might not, chance it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we decided to start Eufora for a couple very important reasons. One is our passion for the industry and the people in the industry. My husband used to say that he used to get sick and tired of seeing these very talented, creative artists struggle to survive and thrive financially in this industry. So we built this company not just around products and great products, but we built it around providing a resource that serves the salon professional in every way. So from creative education, technical education, and especially for business owners salon owners who are looking for a way to make their dream become a financial success. So we're both very passionate about it, but my husband especially, because he was one of those starving artists for a good part of his career. And he had to learn how to be a successful business person and how to really make this industry give back to him what he was giving into it. Right. So it's through all of that we really decided to start Eufora and create a place of learning and growing for all salon professionals.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you describe where Eufora is today?
How do I describe? I would say we are on our journey, and we've been around for about a little over 20 years. I almost hate to say the real number because it makes me feel older than I want to, but so we're on that journey. And I think one of the things that I am most proud of with this company is that the mission and the vision that we started with 20 some odd years ago is the same commitment and mission that we have today. We didn't change. We didn't go sideways. We didn't say one thing and do another. So our journey, Don and I started the company to be a company of longevity and of legacy. And, some companies start and they want to build it and sell it, and that's okay. That's their choice. But for us, this was a lifestyle company for us, as well as, something that we're passionate about for our future. So we're on that journey, and we continue to grow, and we continue to serve salon professionals and serve consumers as well. Right. And so we're continuing on the journey.
That's awesome. I know you have 3 kids. Is that right?
I do. I have 3. They're my children, but they are young adults. They're grown. 2 of them are in the business. I came in the business about 4 years ago. My one son and daughter, and they're loving it as much as my husband and I did. I think growing up at the dinner table and from the time they were toddlers, and listening to this industry and being a part of it and the people in it has been a great learning experience for my children. Right. I'm so proud to have raised them in this industry because it's taught them a lot about hard work. It's taught them a lot about acceptance and cherishing the diversity in people. So I'm very proud that they've decided to join the company as well.
How nice to know that you've created this business that's going to go into a second generation, and who knows what the future holds.
Absolutely. And that is really, I believe, what my husband and I wanted to start was something that was a legacy company, and that would, hopefully outlast us. So.
Yeah. Tell me about your product line. I'm familiar with Eufora as my stylist, as I previously said, uses and loves your products. But for those who aren't familiar with Eufora, what's your product line like?
So our product line from day one has always been based in what we call people planet friendly from the beginning. And that means that in the salon professional industry, products need to perform. But they need to perform in a way that is kind to the person using them and kind to the planet. So you almost hate to say natural, but those natural based ingredients and the technology that's available in using sustainable resources has been the cornerstone of our product development from day one. So being sustainable is a very popular term these days, but it's something that we have embraced, for 20 some odd years.
Right.
So our products cover, there's 90 some odd products, right? It
Wow.
kind of grew over
Okay.
the years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus a full color line, plus a men's line. So in all of that, I think the thing that people need to understand is that you can trust that we leave out the bad stuff and we embrace the good stuff and the sustainability, all while giving you the performance that you need. Women need to have that performance in their hair products.
Yep.
Hairdressers need to have that performance, right? Because you can have all the best things in a bottle in the world, but if it doesn't work,
Right.
you kind of don't go anywhere. So, so the sustainability aspect and embracing new technologies, utilizing ingredients that are plant-based or naturally derived has been very important to us in the products. So whatever your hair needs are, whether you're, curly and textured, whether you're thin and thinning, excuse me, you will find your proper regimen within the Eufora brand.
Well, that's awesome. What was your first product? What was that very first product that you created?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Looking back, we started originally with 9. And we worked with a fantastic—
Oh, you started with 9.
9 products, yep. And worked with a fantastic out-of-the-box thinking chemist who was able to create something very unique for us. So we started with 9, and they were your kind of core shampoo, conditioner, leave-in prep, and a couple styling products back then. And then, of course, over the years, as you work to meet the needs of the consumer and the stylist, our product line certainly has grown. But our first 9 products, interestingly enough, are still to this day some of our best sellers.
Wow. I think that's so amazing. A lot of companies obviously will start out with 1 or 2 products. You went 9 seems like a big leap. Seems like a big risk.
Well, I think when you are a Salon Professional brand, you need to meet the needs of that hairdresser behind the chair for sure. And so, it's not as if we went directly to the consumer with one hero product. We really went to the Salon Professional and worked on giving them what they need to be successful behind the chair in doing hair. And of course, then onto the consumer.
Okay. How many salons are you in now?
That's always a good question. I would say that we are probably in a little over 3,500 independent professional salons. And that's very important to us because we are a Salon Professional brand. So we only sell our products through that channel, that retail channel. And of those 35, I would say there's probably about 12 to 1,500 that are exclusively partnered with us in the brand within their salon.
Okay. Well, I know that you do a lot of education with your salons, with your stylists.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? I've seen, like, if anyone goes to eufora.com, you'll just see amazing videos and images and descriptions of these events, and they seem incredible.
Yeah. Well, education is and has always been part of our DNA. It is the founding principle, really, of our company. As I mentioned earlier, Eufora was developed to be a resource for salon professionals so that they could learn to grow and thrive in their career and their craft. So our education is very broad and deep. From academy level courses. So we have an academy here at Eufora, which are the longer 3-day hair cutting systems courses. And that really is designed to help hairdressers master their craft, whether it be in cutting, styling, coloring, etc. So we also have a very important division of our company that is all about business education. So we have a business team that actually works with salon owners out in the world to help them understand their business better, how to be a better team leader of their staff, right? Wow. And how to grow financially and understand, the ins and outs of all aspects of their business, from marketing to financial to leadership. So that is a unique, I would say, unique point of difference for a product manufacturer in the industry. But it is who we are. We believe that when you enter into the salon professional market and you put that flag up that says we are a salon professional company, that means something. And it means that you have to serve the salon professional industry and not just
Right.
sell products to the consumer, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's why our education is really critical. Now, we also have about 180 certified educators that work around North America and in several other countries that work with salons to bring new trends and tips and techniques into the salons themselves. So we have a pretty broad and deep education commitment to the industry.
Wow. Well, so
Yeah.
when you have one of those big events, do you have them once a year or twice a year?
Our large events are generally once a year. And
Yeah.
so we do a large hair show that is all about the runway and the cutting and the styling and all of that. And then the alternate year, we do something a little unique, and it's called Vision Quest. And it is a business, personal development, and wellness event for the industry. And there's no hair, which is really interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But our community of salon professionals, just like most of us today in this world, we're seeking out ways to improve ourselves as a person, as a business owner, to find that wellness is a big topic, to find that balance in our lives. So this 3-day event is all about business, personal development, and wellness for our hairdressing community.
Oh, that's exciting. That's really cool. When's the next
It
one?
is. It is. April 16th, I believe, coming up, and just be here before you know it.
Yeah.
It's a large event. It's being held at the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in Southern California here, which is just an absolutely beautiful place to come to spend some time on yourself. Invest in yourself a little bit, get out of the day-to-day running of your business, and spend that time on you, because we all need to do that.
Wow, that's incredible. And I'm sure that's a lot of planning. I'm sure that you and your team are like planning that a year, 2 years, 3 years in advance even. Wow.
Yeah, I have an amazing team here that really every year pulls off these very large events just flawlessly. So very, very, they work very hard.
How many employees do you have, Beth?
Eufora corporately is at about 68 corporate employees, and some of them are based here in Southern California, and others are based throughout the U.S. Our regional sales management teams and things of that nature. So, but most are based here in our corporate headquarters.
Wow. Well, when somebody's starting a new company, that's always the struggle, right? Is like, when do I hire that first employee, that second employee?
Yeah.
Can I afford it? Can I afford not to do it? Tell me about, what was that decision like for you?
I think there's always, I think for 22 years, I keep saying I'm about one hire away from having a life. And that was the same when I had 3 employees and when there's 68, the truth of the matter is that it's not just about you as a business owner. It really is about your people, and working hard to find the right people who have the same belief system as you do is critical to your growth. You cannot grow your business without amazing people surrounding you. And so, there's always that old saying, geez, I can't afford to, and I can't afford not to.
Right.
But great employees will pay for themselves, for example. They will bring so much value to your company to help you grow that sometimes you get a little uncomfortable with that budget and, geez, can I afford it? My suggestion is, reach to find and bring on board those good people that can really help your business grow and thrive, because without it, you're going to get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember what was the first hire that you made?
I do. I will never forget. Well, I can tell you the very first key person that I hired. I will never forget it. Actually, she still works with me today.
Wow.
And her name is Yvonne. And I remember interviewing her and asking her, who is your mentor? And because you always want to know kind of where people, get their inspiration, their guidance. Who is their mentor?
Yeah.
And she said, without hesitation, my mom.
Oh, that's nice.
And I said, your mom? And she went in to describe how her mom was such an inspiration as a professional businesswoman. And it was that question alone and her answer that had me hire her. And she's probably one of the best hires I've made since we started the business. So
Cool.
she's
What was
still
her
with me.
role? Yeah. What was her role back then?
Oh gosh, back then I think she came on as like a customer service associate,
Yeah.
taking orders, helping customers. And through the years, she is just a wonderfully smart, intelligent, bright young woman. And she has worked in almost every department of Eufora, whether we were launching the men's line, she had worked in marketing, she's now working in our education division. So Yvonne has really been able to grow. And I think, when you do hire the right people, it's not so much about necessarily their education level.
Right.
Although, in certain positions that is, required, but it's, do they have the ability and the desire to continue to learn and grow? Because every day we have the opportunity, no matter what position you're in your company, to educate yourself and to learn and to nurture yourself. And I think when you find somebody that has that desire and that passion to constantly learn and grow, those people are just priceless, because they will grow with you and they will stay for a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you learn from each other, which is really wonderful.
Absolutely, you do. I think as a business owner, you do a lot more learning than you do teaching of your employees. And I think, oftentimes business owners, especially young entrepreneurs starting out, who have a vision and a dream, believe that, this is mine and my vision, and I'm going to get people around me to do what I need them to do. And I think that's really, you got to flip-flop that around and look at, yes, you have a dream and a vision, but it's really those talented people that bring different perspectives to your company that really help you grow and thrive. So you've got to be open to listening to the people around you, and letting them be part of the crafting of the journey. And I learn every day from the people around me. Sometimes it's lessons I don't want to learn, but I learn.
Well, I think this is why you've been successful for over 20 years. You're open to learning, you're open to discovering, and it sounds like you seek out that knowledge from others. Yeah.
I do. But I do believe that was a little bit of a hard lesson in the beginning, because my husband and I, like any entrepreneur, this is our mission, our vision, our dream. And I had to learn early on that, no, you've got to make sure that you enroll people and you listen to people and that they have a voice, because that's how we have learned to grow our business, and be surrounded by a great team of people that cares as much as I do, or as much as we have, about what we're doing. So,
Right. So over this journey, I'm sure you've had some ups and downs financially. I mean, every business does. Tell me about what you've experienced.
Oh gosh, I think that throughout the years, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you will be confronted with problems that you never even dreamed of, right? And but it's through sometimes those challenges that you learn and you grow, right? So I don't think there's a business owner on the planet, no matter whether they're, a small business owner or the owner of a very large corporation, that wouldn't say that, there are times when, they were confronted with very difficult challenges and difficult times. I think that if your passion for what you're doing is strong enough and your belief in what you're doing is strong enough, that you can overcome any challenge that comes your way, right? And it's important to stay the course and stay focused on why you started the business. Those core values that are important to you as to why you're doing what you're doing. And I think when your core values are strong and your vision is strong, yes, you are going to get hit by challenges left and right, but you'll be able to handle them, and you'll be able to go through them, because you believe so strongly in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And growth sometimes can cost, some people can grow businesses can grow so quickly, they can grow themselves right out of business or grow so quickly
Yeah.
that they have to bring investors in and give up, their part of their equity. So, it's important to surround yourself with good advisors that can help you through those difficult and challenging times. But I think the most important thing through all the challenges that my husband and I ever encountered, and still to this day, is that you have to believe in what you're doing and where you're going, and never lose sight of that.
Yeah, yeah. As you've grown the business, did you have to bring in investors, or how did you structure your business financially without getting into too much detail,
Yeah,
but just to give people a general sense of
sure.
that?
Sure. There are many ways that, business owners or entrepreneurs decide to start their business and fund it.
Mhm.
For my husband and I, over all these years, we felt that we did not want to bring in outside venture capital money, because we started the business so that we could control our own destiny and
Yeah,
grow a legacy company and make all the good decisions and bad decisions all by ourselves. So we chose not to do that, and we chose maybe a little bit slower but more deliberate growth pattern, one that we could
mhm,
afford to grow ourselves. So
right,
I am pretty much the sole owner
right,
at this point, and I think doing it that way made it a little harder, slower,
yeah.
um, but it's something that I'm proud that we do. And of course, I have bank funding and bank relationships, but no outside financial investors.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, some
So
days it
you
is. Some days it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But so your vision all along was methodical growth, put out your products slowly, watch those catch on, and then add more products and more education and more staff.
I think when you start a business and knowing what your mission and your end game is, and
Mm,
again, there's no right or wrong. Some companies want to start, grow it like mad, and then sell it, and then move on to their next thing.
mhm,
Um, when you start a business and you're in it for the long term, you'll make decisions very differently based on whether you're in it for the long term or whether you're in it for the short term. And
mhm.
again, there's no right or wrong. It's just what your goal is, what your dream is. For us, it was longevity, and so we knew that we wanted to grow steady and strong and be able to afford our own growth.
Yeah, which is great. You sometimes hear about after 3 years, after 5 years, there's a lot of business failure. Did you guys experience that, or were you continuing to steadily grow?
We've steadily grown, but I won't say that there weren't times when you're trying to get to that next level and you're trying to grow to that next level,
Right.
that you don't encounter some difficult financial times in investing in your own business, of course, and hoping that the decisions that you've made and the product choices and the marketing choices and everything that you did will pay off, right?
Right, right.
Um, I think even during the 2008, 2009, the sky is falling with the economy, we
Yeah,
actually grew fairly strong through that period of time.
good,
Um,
good.
yeah, so yes, are you constantly looking at how to grow your business, how to fund your business, how quickly you want to grow? Yeah, absolutely. And there's no question that sometimes you do hit those financial crunch times.
Yeah, okay, okay. And Beth, you're one of the few female CEOs of a major company in the United States, probably in the world, right? And there's even fewer in the beauty industry. What's
Yes,
what's
yes.
that like? Is it ever lonely?
Interesting. I get asked this question, a similar question often. Do you feel like you're in a man's world? Do you feel like you're part of just a very, very small group? And, I really don't feel that way. I am maybe fortunate because I am surrounded with great, great people in my business life and my personal life. Our distributors who are amazingly supportive of me taking this role on since my husband passed away. So it's definitely different going solo without my
Right.
partner in crime, so to speak. But I have just an amazing group of people around me that believe in me and support me, and I believe in them and support them. So being a female CEO, yes, I think in the whole big scheme of the world, it's a little maybe a little bit more difficult. I mean, I think females have to run a little faster, jump a little higher,
Right.
to maybe get the same kind of respect or accolades. But I happen to think that having to do that makes us stronger and makes us better. So so yeah, I'm in an industry that is predominantly female, but yet the leadership of our industry at the manufacturer level or even at the distribution level is really predominantly male, which is kind of interesting, right?
That's very
Um,
surprising. Yeah.
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 But it is changing. It is changing. And I feel very privileged and proud to be in the role that I am and to hopefully inspire other women to, grab those reins and take charge of our industry a little bit more. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely am in a privileged position here.